like tailgaters?
No.
I love them.
Really?
Yeah.
They drive me nuts.
Anybody ever been tailgated?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. Sir, have you been tailgated?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you like it?
No.
Make you
Makes
mad?
me mad.
Yeah. Does it make you mad?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Why? Why does it make you mad?
Because I'm afraid if I need to brake, they're going to hit me.
Perfect. Okay. You know, I used to be mad. I used to get angry. Kind of leads to, you almost feel like mini road rage. Okay. But if I can show you a way that won't bother you anymore, would you like it?
Yes.
Okay. People drive, do you know what sheep are known for? Sheep? Following. They just follow. Okay? Whole flocks of sheep have been panicked and gone off a cliff. They're all killed because the first one did, and they were all following the rear of the sheep in front of them. Okay? People have a tendency to drive with that mentality. They drive in a flock mentality. I call them sheeple. Sheep people. Okay? Nah. Can everybody see this? Mm-hmm. Okay. We have car A here. I'm not an artist. I'm a driving instructor. Okay? You can see that, right? Okay. And right on his tail is car B. Okay? That would bother most people, wouldn't it? Okay? What is car B's intention?
He wants to get around car A.
But if he wanted to go around him, couldn't he go around in this lane? Yeah, he has room to go around in this lane because all these are going in the same directions, one side of the freeway. So car B could go around. Do you think people tailgate because they want to make the car in front of them go faster?
Yeah.
Because if you speed up, don't they speed up too? And they're like, okay, I'm winning this game. Okay. If car A, everybody in here is in car A, speeds up and starts tailgating car C, who becomes sandwich material?
A.
You do. Okay. All right. If car A lets off the gas, what does car B have to do?
Slow down.
Good. Do a little bit. If car A brakes a little bit, what does car B have to do?
Brake.
And if car A brakes really hard, what does car B have to do?
Brake real hard.
So tell me, who's in control of whom?
A.
A in control of B.
A is in control of B. B is attempting to control A's speed, but loses the ability or the decision-making process when to brake, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. But A only has control of B if there is what in front of them? Space. Because if there's a car right in front of A, who controls the flock?
C.
Okay? Sheeple. So for years, I used to teach to teenagers, keep a space in front of you because it's safer. We've got a couple teenagers here. Do you always like to listen to your parents? No? How about you? You? No? They don't always like to listen to their parents or even their driving instructors. Because safety, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm immortal. Right? You're immortal. Okay. The only way A can control B is if they have a space in front of them. It's because A can start slowing down earlier and control the whole flock. And there might be cars all the way back down the road. The only way, does A have time to look over their shoulder in order to make lane changes if they need to? Mm-hmm. Does B?
No.
As soon as B looks over the shoulder, A could slow down and
Bam.
boom. B is under the control of A. So if you have a tailgater, realize that you need to control them. They're asking you to control them. You can just hear them going, bah. They want their mommy. Okay? So control them. And if you teach, the more people you control in traffic, the safer you are. The more you are controlled in traffic, the more dangerous it is. And when you watch people driving, it doesn't matter what city across the United States, they have a tendency to drive in flocks. Separate yourself from the flock. Get your kids to separate themselves from the flock for the purpose of controlling. If your kids start tailgating a little bit, do you like to be controlled? I don't like to be controlled. No, they'll separate themselves. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of people will say, but if I have a big space here, everybody's going to cut in front of me. I don't want anybody cutting in front of me. Well, remember, you've got sheep bolt in this lane too. And they're all locked up on each other. And they're so close to each other that they rarely see the big empty space. Sometimes they do. Somebody, if they want your space, they're going to take it. Whether it's a little space or a big space, they're going to take it. The question is, what do you want to have left over after they do? Space or no space?
Space.
Perfect.
You want to control this person behind you. It's green, but it's going to take them a while to get going, right? Just because you have a green light doesn't mean you get to go. Okay, control them, control them, control them, control them. Did you control them late? Okay. You expected them to go, didn't you? Well, somebody was sleeping.
You got some cushion to stop.
So the purpose of teaching our teenagers to control traffic is for a safety issue. Teenagers don't always realize when something is unsafe, and they think that they can drive right on somebody's tail and still be safe because they have fast reactions. Oh, I've got faster reactions, I can brake faster. But, you know, psychologically, if you get them to understand, and it's for everybody here, that if you keep a space in front of you for the purpose of controlling the traffic behind you, you win on both ends. They keep a space. Their intention is to control. Your intention is to make sure that they have enough time to make a decision, lane change, brake, and they also put themselves in a position not to brake hard. So I think somebody said that if I have to brake hard, I'm afraid of getting hit. I think you said that. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you have a big space in front of you, do you very often put yourself in a situation where you have to brake hard?
No.
No. It's when you're right on somebody's tail that they control your braking. If they brake hard, you brake hard, and it comes all the way back.
Right.
Keep your space.
The following clip shows the value of keeping your space while the traffic flow is tailgating. This is a great example of what the experts at the Cullington Driving Concepts define as true defensive driving. Mind you, this is on a rainy day at a busy major intersection.
Another situation is I can view the entire roadway, all 3 lanes, find out what's going in each lane, find out which lane has the least resistance.
Correct, yeah, because you speak of the corridor view that you get in a situation like this as you change
can see it right
lanes.
there. You can see it right there as
There is a corridor look, but with what John says here, with the space that he's got and the viewing ability, is he's got a good visual of all 3 lanes for a good 500 feet ahead of him.
and I have control of the car behind me, the truck behind me. It's a green light. The second light up there is green. People are braking. There's sudden brake. He had to brake hard. I didn't have to brake hard. I got to control the Cadillac behind me.
Because the white Dodge Durango chose to make a left because he didn't plan ahead and dove into the left turn lane.
The truck in front of me had to brake hard. I didn't. Neither did the Escalade behind me.
Very good example of that.
Ah, we got a nice tailgater here. Notice that she's focused right on my bumper. She's got a cigarette lit. She's just kind of staring right at my back bumper. We're going 50 miles an hour, and she's, only about maybe 30 feet behind me. So I increase my space, and I do not allow my space to shrink just because she's tailgating me. I want to keep a stable space in front of me, and it's the space in front of me that allows me to control this gal that's sitting there staring at the back of my car. Notice the group of people up in front of us. They're all locked up. So I'm still going to keep a space. Even though she comes up and tailgates me, I'm sure she's in a hurry. I'm sure she wants to go someplace. I'm still going the speed as if I was, if I moved an extra 50, 60 feet up the road. Okay, now car cut in front of me. I still have plenty of space to control the lady behind me. Okay. They are going to cut in front of you whether they have space or not. Notice that they're really tailgating this line of cars. I'm still controlling the gal behind us. The guy in front of us hit his brakes twice. Now I get to brake early, control the car behind me. I let the car in front of me create the space that I need to control the lady behind me.
In the last clip, Mr. Cullington mentions, as the light turns green, how he lets the car in front of him accelerate a little more than him to allow that car to create the ideal space. Watch now how the SUV in the right lane, next to our training car, does not let the van ahead of them create their space. And quickly, they are in a sheeple pack, where bad things happen.
And the next light is red. Volkswagen behind me is pretty far, which is fine. I let off the gas early. Notice everybody passes me going up to the red light. I have a huge space in front of me. Let's see if anybody fills it in. Nobody filled in the space that I kept, the big space that I kept in front of me. I think this truck on the left of me has passed me 3 times in the last mile and a half. I accelerate, but I accelerate just a tiny bit slower than the flow of traffic to create my space. You can see the flock forming up there. You can see the flock forming behind me. And if you look around me, I'm by myself in the middle of traffic. This is the safest place to drive, is when you're surrounded by space and you drive in between the blocks or the flocks of sheeple. I'm going the flow of traffic, same speed as everybody else, and I'm still surrounded by space. So I have extensive space in front of me. I'm going the same speed as the rest of the vehicles, actually slightly passing a couple vehicles in the other lane. The color of the next light is green. This guy cuts in front of me, and I don't have to react because I had plenty of space. I did see the cars up there hitting their brakes, so I know that they were slowing down. The light is still green. All I had to do was let off the gas. That was my first form of braking, is letting off the gas. I never had to touch my brake because I had plenty of space.
Watch the next video and you will understand the best way to stratadrive. And think about the value of keeping your following space. It is your choice to maintain that space for your safety and the safety of your family and friends. There is no reason to allow a tailgater to take that from you.
So he's a little bit aggressive. He wants me to speed up, doesn't he? I have control over his braking right now. I have a big space in front of me, and he can get as close as he wants. I'm not going to compromise my safety because he wants me to speed up. Where am I going to go?
And don't want to go too fast. You're doing great. You want to keep a space. This is your friend right here. Because when you've got distance between you and him, you can look around the edges, huh? You can get what they call the big picture. If you're tailgating him, what do you have to focus on? His bumper, right? And you've lost the ability to scan and check your mirrors, and your reaction time is totally shortened. And that's how 108 cars in the fog on 99 a little over a year ago got in that terrible wreck. Remember in Selma?
That.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said? 108.
Yeah.
Andrew, 108. I can't fathom that amount of cars. So why? They're driving too fast, too close together, like a herd of sheep, in fog that people said was as thick as a wall.
Yeah. It's like taking all these cars right here and just smashing them together.
Mm-hmm. It was 2 miles of just mayhem. 2 people died. When that 18-wheeler locked it up and clogged all 3 lanes, it was over. Because people were riding up into it not knowing that was all right there.
Yeah. Well, you know, you driving 70, going to work.
Yep. When in that fog, they should have been doing 40.
Yeah.
Now this billboard is ridiculous. You'll see them along the freeways here in California. Fog never killed anybody. We put the blame in all the wrong places. Let's get real. It's the speeders, tailgaters, and sleepy drivers that kill themselves and other people. At various times in the Creating a 5-Star Driver series, we show teenagers admitting that some of their undesirable driving habits are influenced by their parents. In this clip, the teenager keeps staring at the bumper of the car she's following as she runs up to tailgate. Turns out, her mom is a tailgater.
So what are you going to do after you get out of high school?
Go to college.
Where? Easy.
Cal Poly.
Easy. Ease up. Let off the gas.
You don't want me that close?
Because he slams on his brakes. What do you have to do? Easy. Let off the gas. Let off the gas. I can tell the way your parents drive by watching you. Do you know that?
I figured.
Yeah. And they have a tendency to tailgate. Who tailgates more, your mom or your dad?
My mom.
Okay.
We had multiple video clips of 1-star drivers tailgating us during lessons, like this one, that we could have included in this lesson, but we want to spend more time in showing the win-win in keeping your space. The next lesson will expand on this Cullington driving concept of keeping your space as it relates to lane changes, and we will demonstrate ultimate strata driving, which allows a 5-star driver to get across town faster than tailgaters. Before we end this lesson, take a look at this video of the ridiculous, warped mind of 1-star drivers, who put everyone at risk even as the lead car is blinkering well in advance to merge and make the right turn into a driveway on a busy street. The silver car is signaling and merging to make the turn into the driveway, but the 3 cars are sheeple and waiting to be a statistic. Tailgaters always think they will have quick enough reflexes to stop in time. That's what the driver of this car thought. Our wish for new drivers is that the only tailgating they ever do is at a true tailgate get-together.